Boys, today you got UFC 313s, the rare locks of UFC 313. Now, if this is the first time you guys have ever seen this type of video I've been posting, I've been doing this for a hot minute. Pretty much what we're doing is I'm going to be giving you guys 5 rare locks that you will never see anywhere else on YouTube. And, they're going to be these types of locks where once I say them, once they're written down, you guys better go get your asses into any gambling website and you better put the house, you better put the mortgage, you better go into crippling debt only for a few days, because once these hit, they're locked. So they're obviously going to hit, but once they hit, you guys are going to be generationally wealthy. This ain't no gambling advice, but let's start off. Number 1, the first rare lock. This isn't in any particular order, like this is going to happen first and second. No, this is just, we got 5 here. First one, loser of the main event and co-main event will have some sort of excuse that they're going to say either during the press conference, the post-fight press conference, on the mic after they lose, or just in the next coming days. There will be some sort of excuse for the losers. Let's go into the co-main event. The co-main event, the excuse is going to be, this was a short notice fight. If it's Gaethje that loses, short notice, replacement, completely different styles. He's been out for too long, he has a little bit of ring rust, stuff like that. If it's Fiziev that loses, it's going to be, again, short notice fight. He wasn't prepared, his gas tank wasn't there. If you guys haven't watched my prediction videos, then you understand why I'm thinking gas tank. He'll say the knee injury, the surgery, all that stuff will be into play. But yeah, those are the excuses we'll hear out of the co-main event. I don't see a gracious loser out of the co-main event, to be honest. And for the main event, main event, like I said, if you haven't watched my prediction video, I've been saying Pereira's gonna win for months now, and I'm staying with that. I think Ankalaev is gonna lose, and I think he's gonna be a very salty loser. I think we're gonna have like a Jamal Hill situation on our hand. But I think when Magomed loses, he's gonna have the excuse of Ramadan. Pereira didn't want to fight me at my best, so he had to fight me when I was on crutches, having Ramadan, trying to do training camp during Ramadan, fighting during Ramadan, all that stuff. Guarantee we're going to hear that card. We're going to hear that being said many times by Ankalaev once he gets knocked out by my boy Pereira. But second rare card, I think, we look at the card right now. This card is stacked, even from, granted, early prelims, nothing that great, but prelim stacked, main card stacked. I think when there's a fight that's this stacked and everyone's super anticipated, 99.999% of the time, the card underdelivers. I think this card is going to underdeliver. I think people have very high expectations, including myself. Like, run through the early prelims. Yeah, they're not the greatest fights. They still should be pretty good. Prelims card, we have, opening up the prelims, Alex Moreno, Carlos Leal, banger. Bruno Ferreira, Armin Petrosian, banger. Joshua Van Rai-Tetsura, banger. Curtis Blades versus some nobody, banger. But like low-key, this prelim is like a fight night card, main card, that's how good these prelims are. Then we get into that main card opening up, Bobby Green, Mauricio Ruffy, Amanda Lemos versus Lucindo. This one's okay. Jalen Turner, Ignacio Bahamondes, banger. Justin Gaethje, Rafael Fiziev, banger. Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. Don't talk about bangers as I know bangers, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that this card has all the recipes to be a great pay-per-view. But I personally think it's going to underdeliver just because, like I said, 99 times out of 100, this shit usually underdelivers when it's this stacked. So mark that down. I don't know how the betting websites are going to implement that, but mark that down. Put the house on it. Let's go into the third thing. Dana White or the broadcast team will announce some big flyweight, heavyweight, and lightweight fights either during or after the pay-per-view. Now, my thinking is we will see for flyweight, we're going to see Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France get announced. In heavyweight, I'm going to say it now, John Jones versus Tom Aspinall gets announced. And then lightweight, it's either going to be a big lightweight fight, like they're going to announce Dustin Poirier's last fight, or they're going to announce another title fight. And I'm going to say it, Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. You know, I think those are the fights that are going to be announced. If it's not those fights exactly, I just think we're going to have some big-time flyweight, heavyweight, and lightweight fights being announced. Like, UFC has been on fire with the announcements. So I think, again, during or after, sometime during the broadcast or Dana White during the press conference, we're going to hear about these fights. Let's go into the fourth rare lock of this card. I personally don't think we're going to see any, pushing, shoving during the face-offs in the entire card. We run through the card real quick. Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev, there could be some people would probably say, yeah, these guys aren't gonna like each other. There's gonna be some beef. They're gonna talk smack during the press conference, and there's gonna be some shoving. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be very respectful. I think there's gonna be some bad blood, but I don't think it's gonna resolve in pushing. Justin Gaethje, Rafael Fiziev, I could see it being pushed, but I don't think so. And even fights like Bobby Green versus Mauricio Ruffy, I could see Bobby Green getting in his head, talking some smack, thinking all this weird stuff that he thinks during the press conference, and I could see there's been some bad blood. Like, if there's someone who's gonna push, it's gonna be Bobby Green. Don't think it's gonna happen though. Even with Bruno Ferreira versus Armin, I couldn't see that happening either. But other than that, there are some fights on this card that I could see end up being, some shoving going around, but I think it's going to be very respectful. I don't think there's going to be a single shove thrown during the face-offs. Let's go down. The fifth and final thing. During UFC 13, we will hear countless times during and after the event, we will hear Joe Rogan nonstop talk about Pereira and saying shit like, I want to see him versus John. Like, what other fight is there for Alex Pereira and John Jones? I want to see that fight next. Like, completely dismissing Aspinall, and he'll be riding that John Jones and Alex Pereira train nonstop, saying, even if he wins, I guarantee he's going to go into the octagon and saying, there's no other fights for you. I personally want to see you versus John Jones at heavyweight. What do you think about that? And then, some dumb shit like that. I guarantee we're going to hear Joe Rogan nonstop talking about Alex Pereira going up to heavyweight, fighting John Jones, specifically John Jones. And yeah, those are all the rare locks I have for UFC 313. Let me know in the comments below, what are your guys' rare locks? What do you guys think that's 100% going to happen? Another sneaky one you can have on here is like Bobby Green going like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? After everything he says, know what I'm saying? Something like that. Another sneaky one you can have on here. These are pretty much just like honorable mentions right now. But another one you can have, I don't think there's going to be any pullouts. I think the pullouts that we've had during the lead up to this is going to be the only pullouts here. And then a easy lock, Curtis Blades by Masterclass. Let me know if I missed any. If you guys have any of your own, put them in the comments below. Tomorrow, I'm going to have another video out completely not related to UFC 313. It's going to be a banger. I think you guys should enjoy it. But yeah, thank you for watching to the end of the video, and I will see you guys in my next video.